This is such a premium of Cirrus Research. The Global Positioning Report was just released. This is a quarterly that surveys the global landscape in terms of regions, fundamentals, valuations, growth rates, expectations. The title of this report, An Emerging Markets Trade Surfaces as India and Latin America Endure Slowdown. I think this is a big deal as we continue to press for sort of like a defensive posture, an economic slowdown. The irony is that the more resilient economies appear to be emanating from materials, resource markets, effectively an emerging market play. Let's look at some of the specifics. What you've got here is top line growth divided on the left panel, emerging market samples. On the right, you've got the developed markets. And what's clearly evident is that the curves that represent India, Latin America, seem to relate a much benign slowdown relative to the most extreme, which is China and Asia Pacific. In the developed markets, notice that Canada is one of the most resilient as well. So while we continue to think the profit cycle is underway to slow down, without having to make a call on a global recession, we can at least still play on this quality idea. In addition, though, it does look as if capital markets are focused more on the emerging markets area. The fundamentals seem to be lining up. Latin America has been one of the best performing markets for the last year. Looking at profitability, which is something that we're also looking at more closely to figure out if it's worth being on the defensive side. The idea here is that if margins were to reaccelerate, maybe we end up chasing growth, worry less about valuations. But if the margins are tightening, which they are, whether you divide it up by emerging markets or developed markets, as this shows, we've peaked and have started to roll down. And again, notice Canada in the developed market side and Latin America on the emerging market side. Those are regions or markets where we've got the most resiliency in terms of the break in margins. So we think that this sort of rotation underway that's on the surface that should tell you to buy emerging, to buy you developed markets. Clearly something else is going on here. We think this is important for performance. Pay attention to it. We're going to continue to watch the space. Again, global positioning, it is our quarterly. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions. Thank you.